Enough is enough. Fans are now being urged to stop invading BTS's privacy, as leaked moments from their personal lives continue to surface online. Jin, facing intense rumors of favoritism within HYBE, was forced to respond, bluntly and without sugarcoating the truth. Jin's friend was afraid he might sneak away during the night and quit. Meanwhile, BTS's private flight information was illegally sold, putting all members at serious risk. The individuals behind the leak have now been caught, and they could be heading to prison. The full story is far more complicated and far more serious than fans expected. Watch until the end to uncover every detail. BTS's private flight details were sold online, putting their lives in danger. And now the perpetrators have been caught and risk going to prison. For months, something shady had been happening behind the scenes of South Korea's entertainment world, something that put some of the biggest K-pop stars, including BTS, at serious risk. Now, the police say they've found the people responsible. 3 people, one of them an employee working for an international airline, have been handed over to prosecutors in Seoul. They're being accused of illegally leaking the private flight information of celebrities. According to the police, the suspects are facing charges for breaking laws related to the misuse of online networks and other related crimes. The main suspect, who is being called Mr. A, allegedly used his job at the airline to secretly get access to confidential flight records of famous artists. Investigators say he didn't act alone. He worked with others to sell this private information to brokers. In return, the group made what officials believe to be tens of thousands of dollars. The brokers didn't keep this information to themselves either. They passed it along to obsessive fans through group chats and direct messages on social media. But this wasn't just some harmless gossip. The leaks had real-world consequences that were often chaotic and even dangerous. A certain kind of fan, often called a sasaeng, is known for crossing the line when it comes to getting close to idols. With this leaked information, some of them managed to buy tickets on the same flights as the stars, try to talk to them mid-flight, and even mess with their in-flight meals. In some cases, fans went as far as changing the stars' seats or canceling their reservations altogether, creating major problems for everyone involved. These kinds of invasions of privacy had been going on for a while, but 2023 was when things really started to change. That year, HYBE decided enough was enough. They set up a special team just to deal with the illegal trading of artists' private information. HYBE began tracking suspicious online activity and collecting proof. They kept records of accounts involved in buying and selling flight details and eventually turned that evidence over to the police. They included usernames and personal data linked to those involved. Thanks to this investigation, Mr. A was arrested in February 2025. His 2 partners in crime were caught the following month. Police also looked into money transfers and uncovered how the group worked together and shared the profits. It was clear this wasn't random. It was an organized operation. HYBE later said they would continue to support the police and legal system every step of the way. The company made it clear that they had no plans to forgive or settle with anyone involved. Instead, they would take strong legal action against people who treated artists' private lives like something to be bought and sold. This case is one of the first times real legal consequences have been brought down on people who tried to profit off celebrity privacy. Jin was accused of receiving special treatment from HYBE, and the rumors got so intense he had no choice but to respond with brutal honesty. Jin is currently traveling around the world for his first solo tour. Fans everywhere have been excited to see him not only performing live, but also popping up in tons of commercials and advertisements. He's appeared in ads for fancy clothing brands, as well as everyday items like canned fish and instant ramen. But as more of these ads started showing up, some people began to wonder, why is Jin doing so many endorsements? Was he getting more opportunities than the other BTS members? This question started spreading online, especially on Weverse, the app where BTS talks directly with their fans. One fan posted a list of the different brands each member had worked with and hinted that Jin might be getting special treatment. The post got a lot of attention, and eventually, Jin himself responded to clear things up. Jin explained that there's no secret favoritism going on. He said that all 7 members actually get tons of ad offers, dozens, sometimes even hundreds. But most of the time, the others simply turn them down. It's not that Jin is the only one being asked. He's just chosen to accept more of the offers. He also made it clear that he hasn't accepted everything either. He's rejected a lot too. The ads he did take were the ones he personally liked or felt good about. He also mentioned that, for now, he doesn't plan to take on many more ads unless something really exciting comes his way. So while he's been super active in endorsements lately, he hinted that this pace might slow down soon. By sharing all this, Jin helped fans understand that his ad appearances aren't a sign of unfair treatment or proof that he's more popular. It's just a matter of personal choice. Each member handles things differently. Some focus more on music, some take time for themselves, and some, like Jin, decide to work with brands they connect with. In the end, there's no proof that Jin is being pushed forward more than the others, or that companies prefer him. Enough is enough. Fans are being asked to respect BTS's privacy and stop leaking their off-camera lives online. Recently, Jungkook, V, and Jimin went out for dinner together at a popular Korean barbecue spot in Los Angeles. What should have been a normal night out turned into something much bigger after a few people at the restaurant pulled out their phones, recorded them, and shared the clips on social media. The videos spread fast, but instead of excitement, they triggered a wave of anger and disappointment. People online, including many BTS fans, criticized the fact that strangers filmed the moment at all. While the three idols didn't seem upset, Jimin even smiled and politely bowed to fans near the entrance. Many felt that posting the footage crossed a line. Users quickly made their feelings known. Some said the members hadn't posted anything about the dinner themselves, which should have been a sign that they wanted privacy. One fan pointed out that just because someone's famous doesn't mean people have the right to treat them like public property. Many agreed, saying the videos should be deleted. As more posts piled up, invasion of privacy started trending. Fans made it clear they weren't okay with the idea of BTS being watched every time they step outside. They said it's possible to feel happy about seeing the group without turning a quiet dinner into something viral. So far, there's no talk of legal action, but this moment has once again sparked a bigger conversation. Even the biggest stars need time off. Being famous doesn't mean every second of their life should be filmed, posted, or shared. 3 HYBE employees have been sentenced to prison after illegally using insider information about BTS for personal gain. 3 former workers from HYBE's labels were found guilty of insider trading after secretly selling their company stock before BTS's military enlistment was made public. That decision helped them dodge thousands of dollars in personal losses, while ordinary investors took the hit. On July 22nd, the Seoul Southern District Court ruled that these employees broke South Korea's Capital Markets Act. All 3 had access to private company information that hadn't been released to the public yet. Specifically, they knew ahead of time about a video that would announce BTS going on a break because Jin was about to start his mandatory military service. Realizing that the news would likely hurt HYBE's stock price, the employees rushed to sell their shares before the public heard anything. The court handed out different punishments depending on the level of involvement. A 37-year-old man named Kim, who worked at Source Music, got the harshest sentence: 10 months in prison, suspended for 2 years, and a fine of $167,000. Another employee, also named Kim, and 41 years old, had worked at delisted Lab. He was sentenced to 6 months in prison, also suspended for 2 years, and fined $47,000. The third person, Lee, age 33, used to work at Big Hit Music. He received the same suspended prison term and a fine of $36,900. On top of the fines, all 3 had to pay back the exact amount they saved by selling their shares early. The judge made it clear this wasn't just a minor mistake. In the entertainment industry, news like BTS taking a break has a big effect on the company's stock price. Because BTS is such a major part of HYBE's success, any change in their group activity can seriously impact how investors see the company. The court said this kind of behavior ruins trust in the financial system and deserves strong public criticism. And the market's reaction proved that point. The day after BTS's hiatus was officially announced, HYBE's stock price dropped by almost 25%. That steep decline caused regular investors, who didn't know anything in advance, to lose millions of dollars. Even though none of the 3 employees will serve time in prison due to their suspended sentences, the case still sends a strong message. HYBE is at risk of being delisted from South Korea's stock exchange, a move that could shake BTS's future to its core. HYBE's chairman, Bang PD, is at the center of a growing legal storm, as a South Korean law firm prepares to sue him for allegedly misleading investors and making secret profits during the company's early stock deals. The case involves huge amounts of money, nearly $290 million, and could have serious consequences for the company behind BTS. On July 22nd, the law firm Rajipsa announced that it was launching a class action lawsuit targeting Bang and several others linked to HYBE. The firm is gathering more than 50 shareholders to join the lawsuit, which falls under South Korea's Class Action Act. Attorney Lee, who is leading the effort, said they believe Bang and his partners were involved in dishonest financial deals that hurt regular investors. He said this isn't a small issue and warned that, although it's unlikely, the company could even be kicked off the stock exchange if things get worse. That kind of move would be devastating for everyday shareholders who trusted the company. This lawsuit comes right after Bang was referred to prosecutors for a criminal investigation. Just 6 days earlier, on July 16th, the Securities and Futures Commission, South Korea's top financial watchdog, wrapped up a meeting and decided to press charges against him and several former HYBE executives. The group is accused of breaking laws that are supposed to keep stock trading fair and transparent. According to officials, they're confident in the evidence they've gathered and believe the violations can be proven in court. At the center of the case is what appears to be a secret deal involving a private equity fund. Regulators say Bang told early investors that HYBE wasn't planning to go public, which made those investors hold on to their shares or avoid asking for more. But behind the scenes, Bang reportedly sold shares to a private equity fund created by someone close to him. What's more, he signed a contract saying he would get 30% of the profit made from that sale. This agreement, worth an estimated $290 million, was never mentioned in HYBE's official stock filings, which is a serious violation of market rules. In response to the allegations, HYBE put out a statement saying it was disappointed that the Financial Supervisory Service didn't take into account Bang's cooperation with the investigation. According to the company, Bang answered all questions and denied trying to make secret profits from the company's stock plans. HYBE added that while they respect the authorities' decision, they plan to fully cooperate and hope to clear up any misunderstandings. They also said they're committed to earning back the trust of shareholders and the public. For now, everything is still unfolding. Jin revealed there are no plans for an encore concert. Unlike his bandmates, his solo tour will end without a final farewell. Jin is in Dallas right now, performing as part of his very first solo world tour. He's already reached the final stretch, with only 4 concerts left before it wraps up in August. Because of how well the tour has gone, many fans were hoping he'd announce an encore show, just like J-Hope did with his Hope on the Street encore in Goyang. But Jin recently gave a very honest update that shut down the rumors. During a Weverse live stream, Jin spoke directly to fans and explained why there won't be any encore concerts. He said that he really did want to do more shows, but they weren't able to find a concert venue in time. Everything was booked. And with so many other big artists touring this summer, it just wasn't possible to add extra dates. Fans were disappointed by the news, but many understood the situation. Some said that just getting to see Jin perform live for about a month and a half was already more than they expected. They were grateful for the tour and everything that came with it, including all the fun moments like the Runjin-style games. Others pointed out that the whole tour came together pretty quickly, so finding more venues on short notice would have been close to impossible. Besides the tour news, Jin also shared a bit about what he's been doing behind the scenes. He mentioned that he's been exercising in the mornings to take better care of his health and build some muscle. During the live stream, he even tried to show off his biceps, but ended up laughing because, in his words, there wasn't much to show yet. He said the other BTS members had recently told him he looked more toned, like he'd lost some weight. But Jin didn't agree. He said he actually felt like he'd gained weight, and added that the only reason the others think he's slim is because they have way bigger arm muscles than he does. His honesty and sense of humor made fans laugh, and it reminded everyone why Jin is so loved. Jin's friend was afraid he might sneak away during the night and quit. At the 4th Blue Dragon Series Awards on July 18th, popular TV personality Kian84 received the award for Best Male Entertainer, recognized for his work on the Netflix reality show Kian's Bizarre B&B. But it wasn't just the win that got people talking. It was what he said afterward that set off a wave of reactions online. While accepting the award, Kian84 brought up BTS member Jin, who had appeared as a guest on the show. He said filming the series wasn't easy. The team had to live on a remote island under tough conditions. He remembered sleeping while hanging from a wall for a week and admitted that when he first found out Jin was joining, he was nervous. Since Jin is a global superstar, he worried how the idol would handle the rough lifestyle. He even said that at one point he wondered if Jin might sneak away during the night and quit the show altogether. But none of that happened. Kian84 said Jin surprised him by following every rule and sticking with the program until the very end. He said he was grateful for how committed Jin was and appreciated the energy and humor Jin brought to the experience. According to him, despite being one of the most famous people in the world, Jin never once acted like he deserved special treatment. Jin's appearance on Kian's bizarre B&B had a huge impact. He joined the cast in completing outdoor challenges and group activities, and his involvement brought international attention to the show. BTS fans around the world tuned in to watch, helping boost the show's popularity far beyond its usual audience. While Kian84's speech was meant to show gratitude, not everyone took it the same way. Some fans thought it was great that he gave Jin credit and acknowledged how much his presence helped the show succeed. But others weren't as happy. A portion of BTS fans argued that Jin did more than just help, that he was the highlight of the show. And some went as far as saying he should have won the award instead of Kian84. They felt Kian84 didn't really do much and had only benefited from having Jin on the show. That criticism didn't go unnoticed. Kian84's supporters quickly defended him. They said he had done a great job hosting the series and had always treated Jin and the rest of the cast with respect. They also pointed out that Kian84 had been working hard on the show from the beginning and deserved the award for keeping it running and holding everything together. V and Jungkook are taking an online influencer to court. On July 21st, a court meeting between Big Hit Music, BTS members V and Jungkook, and the influencer Sojong ended without a deal. This means their legal battle will now continue in court as a full trial, after a failed attempt to settle things peacefully. The session was held at the Seoul Western District Court, where the judge tried to help both sides come to an agreement. The case was originally filed in March, and this meeting was part of the appeal process. Big Hit, along with V and Jungkook, is suing the influencer, identified only as A, for defaming the singers. According to court records, at least 23 videos were posted on the Sojong channel before it was taken down. These weren't just about BTS. They targeted multiple celebrities with harsh, insulting, and sometimes completely false claims. But V and Jungkook were hit especially hard. Big Hit's legal team argued that these videos were not only offensive and untrue, but were made with the clear intention of getting attention and views, even if that meant spreading harmful rumors. This lawsuit actually has two parts, one civil and one criminal. In the civil case, Big Hit is demanding financial compensation for the damage caused. In the criminal case, A is being prosecuted for defamation and public insult, charges that are taken seriously under South Korean law, even when aimed at celebrities. During the mediation, the judge gave both sides a chance to talk it out and possibly avoid the long court process. But they couldn't reach any agreement. Now, the appeal will move forward as a normal trial, where each side will bring more evidence and arguments to court. Neither side has made any new public statements after the failed settlement. However, Big Hit has been clear in the past that it's not backing down. Now that mediation has failed, the court will move forward with hearings to decide how much damage was done and whether the BTS members and their label should be paid. The exact amount of money being asked for hasn't been made public yet. But depending on the outcome, the case could become a major example of how South Korean courts deal with online defamation.